Mark, I would like to know, what was your background? Kasi earlier you have mentioned na you are also in service-oriented industry.
Yes.
So, may
Yes
I know
po.
kung ano yung nursing background natin or what are you doing currently right now, Sir Mark?
I graduated nursing school 2007 yata. Yeah, I think it was 2007 kasi nag-transfer ako ng school kasi before I was taking biology sa UP. Sagsagan nun nung nursing boom by that time. So, like, mga tita ko kasi nasa States na rin that time na kakalipat lang nila, nurses din. Sabi niya, mas maraming pera yung nurse kasi sa doktor. Sabi niya, mag-nursing ka na lang. So, I have no choice kasi sila nagbabayad ng tuition ko. So, kailangan ko sumunod. And then, like, nag-transfer ako ng school. Umuwi ako ng Aklan kasi yun yung easiest to get in na nursing school. And then I graduated 2007. Nag-take ako ng local board noong June 2007 din, months after nag-graduate. And then nakapasa naman, thank God. Tapos nag-volunteer kasi uso yung volunteer noon. Agawan pa noon ng slots sa volunteer. So those are like yun, yung mga nostalgic times na parang, grabe ang hirap ng buhay namin noon. Yung tipong nag-volunteer ka na, magbabayad ka pa. Tapos I think 2009, I got in dun sa NARS program before. I don't know if you're familiar with that, yung NARS program nung DOH. So, like, meron silang ganung initiative before, ma'am. Magde-deploy sila ng nurses sa rural health units. And then they're paying, like, I think 8,000 pesos that time. So, it was really good opportunity kasi nung time na yon, makasweldo ka ng 8,000 as a nurse, it was really good para maging casual ka sa government na yung hati pa kayo sa schedule no in a month. Magkano na yung sweldo? 3,000 pesos. Mas mataas pa yung sweldo ng janitor. I mean, that's the reality of it. So, sobrang happy ko na nakasweldo ako ng 8,000 pesos under yung nurse program ng DOH that time. And then, 2010, nag-end na kasi yung contract ko noon from province. Pumunta ako Manila. Nakipagsapalaran to look for hospitals. And then, I think I applied dun sa Jose Reyes noong 2010. Yung kinausap namin na doctor, natutulong sana sa Jose Reyes, sabi niya, sobrang dami ng applicant ngayon. Bigay mo na sa akin yung resume mo, tapos mag-antay ka ng 2 years.
Grabe.
Kasi sabi niya, sobrang talagang ang dami ng aplikante ngayon. Sabi niya, kailangan mo mag-antay. Sabi niya, para akong na-confused na naman ako. Sabi ko, like, anong gagawin ko sa 2 years? Tapos andito na ako sa Maynila. So sabi ko, ayun, so sobrang din akong like, na-lost din ako kasi, alam mo yun, parang hindi ko na kasi alam nung time ko anong gagawin ko. And then, sabi nung friend namin, mag-BPO ka na lang muna. Sabi niya, while waiting. Sige, sabi ko ganyan. Sa bagay ka ako, wala talagang opportunity niya sa hospital. Sabi niya, magastos dito sa Maynila. Sabi niya, hindi ka mabubuhay bilang nurse. Sabi niya, so try mo muna mag-ano. Marami naman sabi niya mga healthcare accounts sa BPO. So sige, sabi ko, try ko. So nung pumunta na ako dun sa office, unfortunately, wala na daw bakante doon sa ina-applyan ko na healthcare course. Sabi ko, napakamalas naman. Like, pumunta ako ng Jose Reyes like a day before and then pumunta ako doon sa center nung a day after. So, wala talaga lahat pareho. And then sabi sa akin ng HR, sabi niya, sir, gusto mo mag-exam for advertising post? Sabi ko, ma'am, nursing kasi yung background ko. Sabi ko, wala po akong alam sa advertising. Sabi ko sa kanya. Sabi niya, sir, try mo lang mag-exam. Baka naman pumasa. So, sige, sabi ko, sumuha naman ako ng exam. Tapos, fortunately, nakapasa ako doon po sa exam na yun for advertising. Siguro, sheer luck siguro na like pure common sense na ginamit ko na nakapasa naman. Tapos, it was funny because dalawa kaming candidates na natira. Yung isa is from, I think UST yun, na management yung course niya. And then ako na nursing, layo. And then, syempre hindi ako nakuha kasi ang layo nga ng background ko. Umuwi na ako sa condo ng tita ko. Tapos, I receive a call from HR. Sabi niya, sir, okay lang ba sa'yo na bumalik ka bukas? Kasi sabi niya, nag-back out kasi yung candidate. Sabi niya, ikaw na lang kung pwede. Okay. Sabi ko, ganyan. Kasi ako, naghanap akong trabaho ngayon. So sabi ko, buti na lang, nag-back out yun. So ako na lang. So ayun, I went back dun sa office. And then, it was a long run dun sa industry na yun. Kasi I started 2010 and then I ended in 2018 yata.
Oh, that was 8 years.
Sobra, ma'am. I mean, I've been with the same company for 8 years. I was really happy naman kasi yung unexpected turn of events na yun during my application and then promote and then okay naman yung buhay ko doon. Kasi I mean, it gave me a lot then of opportunities to do things. Siguro it's one reason then kung bakit I keep on delaying yung NCLEX na to. Kasi I was enjoying my life there. Pay is good, benefits are good. Nagki-crisscross ako between Makati and Bicol nung time na yun kasi I have projects sa Bicol. So parang like almost every other month may business travel ako. Sabi ko, parang ang saya naman ito. And then, syempre, okay yung pay, so I have the opportunity to pay for my own travel. So, sabi ko, parang hindi ko naman kailangan na mag-America para medyo yung buhay. Unfortunately, yung client namin pulled out from the company 2018. So, ayun din naman ako. So, basically, I have no client na by the time. So, it was sad kasi I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared emotionally, siguro, or financially. I wasn't prepared to lose my job that time kasi yung pulling out of the client is the least of my concern kasi we've been working with them for 8 years. Yung usual life lang ng mga kliyente sa BPOs, like 3 to 4 years, mawawala na ang mga yan. Kami, we've been working with them for 8 years. So, it's the least of my worries na pull out sila. Unfortunately, na pull out. So, yun. So, sabi ko, ano nang gagawin ko nito? So, parang gano'n na naman ako. So, anong gagawin ko nito? So, I keep on applying sa ibang centers. Sabi ko, parang there's something wrong. Bakit hindi ko mapasa-pasa yung mga final interview? I mean, sabi ko, maganda naman yung training ko dun sa dating company namin. I mean, we've been equipped with all the management trainings that we need. Sabi ko, ba't hindi ko mapasa-pasa yung interviews ng ibang kumpanya? Parang there's something wrong. Sabi ko ganyan. So, syempre, kailangan mo mag-step back a little bit, mag-reflect na yung ganyan. Sabi ko, this is God's one way of saying na mag-NCLEX ka na kasi. Parang ganyan. Na parang tipong matagal nang sinasabi siya na mag-NCLEX ka na. No? Tipong baka andun talaga nakatadhana sa'yo. So, gano'n. So sabi ko, sige, parang ganyan. I-try ko na. Kasi parang may marami ding siguro, ma'am, na encouragements along the way kasi marami ka nababasa na parang, marami na nakakapunta ngayon. Sabi niya na mag-ano, ganyan-ganyan. Unlike before na parang I have a friend na PD niya is 2006. Na interview date niya 2013. So it's like 7 years of waiting before. Sabi ko, that is really discouraging. Pero ngayon, sabi niya na mabilis na daw kasi like everyone's getting there. Na parang ganyan, halimbawa yung classmate ko na yun, na she's been working in the Middle East for the longest time na andun na. So parang sabi ko mukhang okay nga tong opportunity na to ba. Oo nga, parang this is the time, parang ganyan. So, ayun, I was talking to one of my aunts na sabi ko sa kanya, tita, kukuhaan ako ng NCLEX. But sabi ko, I have no money to pay for that. And then sabi niya, okay lang yan, we'll take care of it. So, yun. And then, that's the day na pumunta po ako ng Doña Felisa. And then, inquired for that. And then, yun, doon pa ako nagtanong sa staff niya. Sabi ko, meron po ba kayong alam na mga review center, mga ganyan? Sabi niya, meron naman kami nakatayap. And then, that's the time na I enrolled doon sa NCLEX Unlimited. Yun, I started this year, January po yun. Naka one cycle lang kami kasi after nun is, nag-lockdown na. So, yun po yung like from how I started with nursing until how it came to this point na naidugtong ko na yung USRN sa dulo ng pangalan ko. Which is like, actually, I was updating my LinkedIn days ago na sabi ko, this really feels good na parang ilalagay mo yung ganong letters at the end of your name. Although hindi siya recognized sa Pilipinas, pero like, I don't know, sabi ko, hayaan mo na, I have sort of bragging rights to put those letters there. So sabi ko, hayaan mo na lang. Parang ganyan. Kasi it feels good din naman talaga na like pinaghirapan, kinasasan ng almost 1 year and then dito maganda pa yung result na hindi expected. So yun, it was really happy and humbling experience at the same time. Kasi yun nga po is like, I couldn't have achieved this without yung tulong ng mga tsahin ko, without tulong ng other things and stuff. So I was really fortunate and thankful.
That is really giving you, sometimes we cannot recognize kung ano yung plano ni Lord sa atin, Sir Mark, because we've been through a lot of other journeys, like we've been shifting to another career, yet ito yung gusto ni Lord para sa atin. So like kung titingnan mo, if you're going to look back doon sa mga nangyayari, siguro later on madadiscover mo kung ano ba talagang reason bakit this might really be the plan of the Lord para sa akin, na ito talaga yung para sa akin. That's why He gave me those kind of experiences. Kaya na-experience ko yon, and this is the right time. God just gave me the perfect timing and the perfect opportunities for me para ma-realize ko na this is it. This is the will of God for me. Para siguro ganun, Sir Mark.
Yes, ma'am. Oo nga, no. Like, kasi sometimes kasi pag pinipilit mo yung gusto mo, na yun nga, like, yung experience ko, sabi ko, ba't hindi ko mapasa-pasa itong mga interview na to, na parang, this is not me. Kasi somehow, alam mo naman yung capacity mo, di ba, ma'am, as a person. You know your capacity. Na sabi ko, parang, this is not me. Baka, yun nga, I mean, hindi talaga para sa akin yun. So, wala, bagsak ka ng bagsak dun sa ibang and then it led me towards this, it really paved yung failures na yon siguro. It's like one failure is an equivalent to one step towards getting there dun sa NCLEX part ko. So, I was happy din naman na I did yung first step na yun and ended with a passing score. So, yun. It was really an interesting journey, if I may say.
You are destined for a bigger purpose, Sir Mark. That's why, ganun yung naging experience natin, Sir Mark. Thank you very much for sharing that inspirational stories. With regard naman doon sa process natin, nag-start tayo ng December and then you enrolled in a review center January. So, yung preparation mo, Sir Mark, is talagang ever since January pa. Tama ako?
Yes, ma'am. January ako nag-start ng preparation dun sa review center nga. But unfortunately, nung pandemic na, medyo naglaylo ako ng review nun. Kasi siguro mentally, kasi those times are stressful during lockdown period na parang hindi ka makafocus sa ginagawa mo kasi it's like nandun yung worries mo na parang lalabas ka lang ng bahay, nakakatakot, parang ganyan. So,
It's uncertain.
yes, ma'am. So, sobrang, I think wala talaga akong ginawang review until May. And just get back siguro June, yung pasulpot-sulpot yun sa online. But, nag-full year ng review ako siguro, ma'am, nung, I think, September na yung tipong, this is it. Kasi may schedule na ako nung time na yun. So, sabi ko, eto na. So, I started planning my whole review schedule for the next few months until exam date.
So yung focus na time frame lang talaga is September, October, November, December. So
Yes,
parang
ma'am.
religiously, parang 3 months of focus.
Yes, ma'am.
So you
Sobra, 3
also,
months lang.
but prior to the review, did you read any material before enrolling to a review center? Or did you
Wala,
follow
ma'am.
sources? Wala talaga.
Wala talaga. I mean, the very first day na nag-attend ako ng review class namin, sobrang sakit ng ulo ko after ng class. Kasi it's like, sobrang na-overwhelm yung utak ko because I haven't opened the nursing book for the past 9 years, I think. So, yung first day namin ng class, sabi ko doon sa tita ko, tita, huwag niyo muna akong kausapin kasi sobrang sakit talaga ng ulo ko. Sabi ko, baka ako yung brain cells ko no-overwhelm doon sa lecture na kasi lahat bumabalik na yung tipong at a point it's like everything seems very unfamiliar na sa akin. So sabi ko, na-overwhelm na yung utak ko. So sabi ko, sobrang sakit ng ulo ko. Sobrang talagang sakit ng ulo ko. Na yung tipong first week ko nung review namin, I was so exhausted noon. Kasi, I don't know, siguro, yun nga, nag-a-adjust talaga yung katawan at utak mo. Kasi nga, tagal ko hindi nakapag-open ng nursing book. So, yun. I was really overwhelmed. Sobra.
So, sa mga nagre-review po siguro, Sir Mark, dyan, kahit sa anong review center man yan, if you are going to enroll in a certain review center, siguro you expect that during the first day, you will be overloaded with information kasi parang nanibago na naman yung brain cells mo sa mga information. Lalo na kapag matagal ka nang graduate, matagal ka nang hindi nag-nursing. So, you guys have to expect that one na medyo overload yung brain cells niyo for the information on your first.
It was really funny kasi alam mo yun na, syempre insecure ka pa kasi it's like, ba't alam ng classmates ko to? Na parang tipong, parang, how are they supposed to know those things? Na parang, grabe, parang napapakamot ako sa ulo ko na parang, I'm way so behind them. Sabi ko sa kanya na parang, sa kanila is like easy breezy na lang yung may recitation and they were able to answer those things and sabi ko parang napaka-clueless ko. So sabi ko Lord, kaawaan mo ko sa ginagawa kong to. Sabi ko wala talaga akong alam.
So this is also a good time, Sir Mark, that we can probably give some advice to other students na yung lalo na sa mga nagre-review, matagal na graduate. So ano sa palagay mo, Sir Mark, yung dapat mindset nila or attitude nila when it comes to preparing for the examination kung matagal na silang graduate, matagal nang hindi nag-practice as a nurse? The same as your experience.
I see. Well, same principle with anything else. I mean, you really just have to accept yourself na sobra ka ng way behind in terms of knowledge and skills. You really have to accept that first sa sarili mo. Kailangan mo tanggapin yun na wala ka nang alam or siguro may alam ka pero hindi na yan ganun ka competitive, kumbaga. So you really have to accept that kasi kung pipilitin mo yung sarili mo na parang ipipressure mo yung utak mo, dapat alam ko yan. So wala, mako-frustrate ka lang. So, you really just have first to accept sa sarili mo na marami kang dapat pag-aralan, patutunan. You have to accept and you have to expect na you really have to do extra time, kailangan mo mag-double time kasi you're really way behind. So, you need to catch up. So, yun. And then, siguro po, if ma-reconcile mo na yun sa sarili mo na you have to, yun yung mga bagay na kailangan mong gawin, I think it's a good start and it would pave way kung paano ka makapag-strategize more kasi alam mo kasi yung kailangan mong i-work out sa sarili mo, alam mo yung weaknesses mo. So, ano talaga yun, ma'am? I mean, yung acuity mo towards that kind of thought is very important. That's the very first step, I think. For me kasi it went well. And then after that is you'll have to research for resources, options. Kailangan mo talaga magtanong. So wala ka talagang alam. And then kailangan mo magtanong kung ano yung mga pwede mong pag-aralan. You have to really spend some time researching sa internet kung ano yung mga ginagawa nila. Try to read blogs siguro just to give you an idea on materials na ginagamit ng ibang estudyante before. Like, you have to go through online videos, YouTube, yan. I mean, yung mga channels nila, registered RN ba yun? Si Nurse Sarah yata yun.
Yes,
So, it
yes.
was helpful. Some of her videos are old, pero okay pa rin naman. Ayun, so, kailangan mong, like, pag wala kang ginagawa, nood-nood ka lang, ganyan-ganyan. And ako kasi ma'am, parang nire-reinforce ko kasi yung binabasa ko sa papel, like Saunders na to. To be honest, Saunders is like boring basahin. Nakaka-antok siya basahin. So parang, okay. Parang wala ko masyadong takeaway sa Saunders. Kasi at the end of the day, wala, napapagod lang ako kakabasa, tapos inaantok ako along the way, tapos wala rin naman akong na-retain. So kailangan ko siyang i-reinforce nung ano. So like, halimbawa, babasa ako ng cardiovascular disease kay Saunders, or halimbawa, heart failure, ganyan. So, syempre, may mabasa ka, may retain ka ng konti, pero nire-reinforce ko po yun nung other materials. After reading, nanood ako ng videos online about congestive heart failure. So, nare-reinforce po yung knowledge na binabasa. But, hindi siya ganun ka-structured po kasi ginagawa ko during the lockdown period. Hindi siya ganun ka-structured kasi nga po, hindi ko alam kung kailan ako mag-e-exam. Pero it's one of my behavior lang kasi na minsan pag hindi ako sure, pag wala akong tina-target is parang wala, pabanching-banching lang, parang okay, mag-review ako, okay na wala, parang ganyan. But it changed nung na-receive ko na po yung schedule ko nung September. So that's the time na talaga nag-structure ako nung schedule ko. I even made a Gantt chart of my schedule for the next 3 months.
What did you use? Monday.com?
Ay, hindi naman po. Yung ano lang, nag-download lang ako ng template online. Kasi before, sa dati kong work is like, Gantt chart is my friend. Lalo pag humingi akong budget for a business trip. Kasi kailangan nyo. I mean, it's effective kasi nga, it really gives you a structured schedule. Alam mo yun? Kasi sometimes kasi it's so frustrating pag hindi mo na-take out yung schedule mo doon sa Gantt chart mo. Parang, ay, sabi ko may pending na naman. Parang ganyan. So, ayokong ma-burden kasi yung sarili ko sa mga ganyan. So, I made a Gantt chart of my schedule for the next 3 months na okay, kasi along the way kasi parang doon ka po kukuha ng buwelo, kumbaga, para hindi ka tamarin kasi kailangan ma-accomplish mo yung nasa schedule mo. So, parang, so I made a Gantt chart of my schedule for the next 3 months. Well, along the way, hindi ko naman siya nagamit na kasi parang yung pacing mo, kumbaga, is na ano na yung rhythm mo, kumbaga, din sa schedule mo. And then, yun, it was nice. Then, so, nag-plot ako ng schedule ko, halimbawa, for this month, tapusin ko yung mga printed materials ko, and then for this span of time, mag-U-World ako. So, talagang naka-schedule po yun na dapat matapos ko siya by that time. Kasi pag hindi ko kasi natapos, nag-guilty ako kasi nga, magagahalo ka ng 1 day. Eh sabi ko, pag naipit ako ng naipit, so baka mag-cram ako week before ng exam ko, na which I don't want to happen. So yun, I'm very strict din with my schedule. Kasi kailangan mo talagang sundin yung schedule mo kasi yun lang yung pag-asa mo para pumasa. So I think ma'am, yung key to that talaga is discipline and consistency. Sobra. You really have to discipline yourself na dapat matapos mo to, dapat ganyan-ganyan. You have to like no buts and no ifs in skipping yung schedule mo. Kasi wala at the end of the day, ikaw din naman yung talo. Niloloko mo ng sarili mo kung gumagawa ka ng excuse dyan. Pag like tipong pag halimbawa, bumagsak ka, sisisihin mo rin naman yung sarili mo. So why not do the right thing na lang? Tapos,
Before tayo mag-move, Sir Mark, i-interrupt lang natin kasi you have mentioned Gantt chart kasi sa mga viewers natin, because it's not a nursing, it's not Gantt chart.
Yeah, oo.
I just encountered Gantt chart when I had also my project management course. So, explain natin, Sir Mark. So, ang Gantt chart, guys, is just the same like plotting mo lang. Like, you have a structure, like a specific plan. For example, 3 months kang magsa-study. So, on this week, like first 3 weeks, ito yung dapat matapos ko. And then, after the 3rd week, ano na ulit yung, and then, you have a specific duration of your study time, kung anong material yung dapat gamitin, and as well as kung ilang weeks mo itong gamitin. So, ganun lang yun. Plotting lang yun. Gagawa lang ng structure. Ganun yung concept ng Gantt chart, guys. Baka magtaka kayo kung anong Gantt chart ang sinasabi ni Sir Mark.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds very fancy yung term, but like bottom line nun, magpa-plot ka lang talaga ng schedule mo. It's just template lang din naman kasi yun eh. I mean, you can download it. Maraming Gantt chart na makita online. And you can be creative in doing your Gantt chart mo. Kulay-kulay mo. Daming colors yung gusto mong gawin. Ganyan. So, meron kang color coding system. So, ako yung color coding system ko is like, pag accomplish na siya, mag-highlight siya in green. Pag hindi pending pa siya, yellow. Pag unaccomplished, red. So, ayokong makita yung mga red kasi nga, burden ko yun, nakailangan tapusin. So, dapat green sila lahat.
I think you're really very organized, Sir Mark. Seeing at your background, you have a lot of highlighters in there. So, organized talaga. So, ganun na tipo yung attitude ni Sir Mark. Very organized siya na pagkatao.
And one thing, ma'am, I mean, to share this technique that I use, kasi I understand kasi, for example, sa mga classmates ko before, is like most of them are working at the same time. So, medyo gahol sila sa oras. Na tipong, some of them are asking me kung ano ginagawa. Sabi ko, I was fortunate enough, sabi ko na I only have to study the whole day. Na sabi ko, I don't have to worry about anything kasi yun lang talaga yung gagawin ko for the next 3 months. So sabi ko, if you guys have limited time to study, talaga madidistract kayo along the way. Kasi nga, syempre siguro yung iba pagod after ng work, lalo ngayon may COVID. I can't imagine how stressful it is sa kanila. So, I have this technique, the Pomodoro Technique. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
So yung Pomodoro, I mean, yung concept nito is very basic lang, no? But it's really helpful kung nadidistract ka while studying. Yung Pomodoro Technique kasi is like, you have to, like, very exclusive na focus ka lang sa pag-aaral mo for the first 25 minutes. And then mag-break ka ng 5 minutes. And then uulit ka ulit ng 25 minutes. So structured siya ng 25-5, 25-5 for the first 4 for 25 minutes. So siguro mga roughly, ilang oras yun? Mga 2 hours siguro po yun. So parang tipong after ng 25 minutes mo, magko-collect ka ng Pomodoro. I mean, Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. So magko-collect ka ng tomato after 25 minutes. And then after mo ng first successful mo na Pomodoro, so that's a time na pwede ka mag-break ng mas matagal, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, ganyan. So when you're distracted, it's really helpful kasi para kang naka-commit doon sa 25 minutes mo na yun na wala kang ibang gagawin kundi mag-aral. Kasi at the end of your 25 minutes, you have the opportunity, yung 5 minutes mo to do other things. Like kung gusto mo mag-cellphone, gusto mo tubig, gusto mo maglakad-lakad, gusto mong mag-nap or anything. You have that in your 5 minutes. Wag mo lang didisturbuhin yung first 25 minutes mo. You have to stick to that. Kasi para siyang reward system.
Yes, tama. Hindi naisip ko reward system.
Para siyang reward system na, okay, tapusin mo yung task na to, meron kang break after dito. And then pag natapos mo yung 4 na Pomodoro mo, you have longer breaks. So parang it's something you look forward to. Okay, I have 10 minutes on social media. Parang ganyan.
This is siguro to enhance the focus of a certain examinee, sir, ano?
Yes, ma'am. Sobra.
Is also one of the practices.
Talaga makakapag-focus ka kasi kailangan mo tapusin yung 25 minutes mo whether you like it or not. Yung tipo, kasi ikaw din mismo, kasi meron po siyang meron siyang parang timer. Yung gano'n na, yung para siyang nagta-time into, mag-a-alarm siya on the 26th minute, meaning break mo na, tapos mag-a-alarm siya on the 30th minute, meaning kailangan mo nang bumalik. Yung parang ganyan. So talagang until hindi mo naririnig yung alarm na yon, talagang mag-aaral at mag-aaral ka. So it's really helpful po yun. Kasi you don't need to think of distractions on your 25 minutes kasi you are given 5 minutes after nun to entertain yung distractions na nasa sa isip mo. Parang ganun. So it's really helpful po, especially sa mga limited yung oras. Halimbawa, they only have, let's say, 2 hours per day to study. So pwede niya lang gawin yung gano'n na just collect 4 Pomodoros in a day. I think it's kasi we're always for quality instead of quantity ng inaaral mo. So I think if ganun yung behavior mo every day, na focus ka lang ng 2 hours per day, kung if you only have 2 hours, then I think it's really helpful.
So, ganun yung dapat gawin nila every day.
Yes, ma'am. Kailangan mo kasi maging consistent din. Kasi ma'am, I think yung brain kasi natin is like, when you train it to do specific thing na consistent din yung ginagawa niya, I think meron siyang tipong mental reflex, kumbaga na, okay, matik na, ganun yung gagawin niya pag nasasanay na yung utak natin. So, it's one of the techniques that I can share sa kanila na probably nakakatulong, then they can try it out. If it's effective sa kanila, then go ahead. If hindi naman, then they can do other things na pwedeng But focus-wise, nakakatulong talaga po siya pag if you want to really focus on your review.
At least ma-practice yung sarili sa pag-focus. And also, another thing is, it also takes time to form a certain habit sa sarili natin. So, dun sa nabanggit mo, Sir Mark, na siguro on the first or initial phases ng study time mo, medyo mahirapan ka pa. But later on, when you have already practiced it, parang napo-form na yung habit natin na it would just be easier for us na mag-study kasi ando na yung habit na nasasanay na yung sarili mo sa pag-study. So,
yes, ma'am.
ayun, Sir Mark, na-share mo, Sir Mark, is, ang natanong ko is about doon sa mga matagal nang graduate, and you have shared that first thing na kailangan lang gawin is to acknowledge na medyo this is a challenging journey for us kasi matagal na tayong graduate, matagal na tayong wala sa nursing, lalo na yung mga hindi nag-nursing as of this time. And we have to evaluate ourselves honestly kung ano yung strengths and weaknesses natin. And another thing na share mo, Sir Mark, is it would be good if meron silang structured na plan para at least alam nila kung anong dapat materials na gagamitin and how long are they going to study. So, knowing that you have studied from September until December, or would you recommend others to do the same, that they will be religiously studying for 3 months, or should they prepare for a longer span of time ba, Sir Mark?
For me, ma'am, I think enough yung 3 months if ganun po ka-structured lang talaga yung kwan. But then again, if you don't have the luxury of time to just spend like 8 hours a day just to study, you need a lot more days or siguro additional months para doon. Kasi kung bibilangan mo kasi yung hours spent studying, halimbawa, like average of 8 hours per day, multiply mo siya like into 20 days a month. So, hina ako sa math, pero ganun po yung concept na yung tipong i-gauge lang po nila kung ano yung applicable sa kanila. But if in my case, siguro I think 3 months is well enough if you just have the right materials na pag-aralan. Of course, I did UWorld, which is really helpful. Yung practice kasi nakuha ko sa UWorld is like that what saved me from SATA questions ko ng actual NCLEX. Sobra. Yun, na I spent roughly, I think 45 days sa UWorld. I spent 45 days. Kasi yun din yung plinat ko na dapat by 45 days, maubos ko lahat yung UWorld ko na unused questions. Then after nun, is nag-spend ako ng additional 10 days dun sa mga incorrect ko naman. Na sabi ko, before day ng exam ko, dapat 0 lahat dun sa UWorld ko. 0 incorrect, 0 unused, 0 pending or omitted, tapos yung matitira na lang is yung used na question. So talagang in-name ko yun na dapat 0 sila lahat, na I should really finish them all. It really helped me dun sa actual SATA questions ko ng NCLEX kasi naano naman yung mind mo, kumbaga na-train na siya. That's why I keep on repeating earlier na kailangan mo talagang i-train yung utak mo into certain halimbawa, dapat nakakondisyon na yung mind mo na okay, if SATA question yan, ganito yung strategy mo. So number 1, don't be overconfident. Number 2, basahin yung lahat ng options carefully. Carefully. Kailangan mo talagang ulit-ulitin yun. Kailangan mo talagang basahin sila lahat na up to the last detail ng options. Kasi SATA questions kasi basically it's overwhelming sa mata mo kasi ang daming mong babasahin. Alam mo yun? Unlike sa ibang type of questions na ilang lines lang yung babasahin mo. Na suppose sa SATA na ang daming lines mong babasahin. So somehow it's mentally nakakapagod kasi nga ang dami mong energy na i-spend na like 12 lines yung babasahin mo as opposed lang sa normal questions na like 5 to 6 lines lang yung babasahin mo. So it matters. So talagang kailangan mo talaga ma'am na i-train yung sarili mo based dun sa specific type of questions. So pag SATA ganun, halimbawa, and then halimbawa, pag naman, mga hotspot, mga ganyan, ito din ma'am, you have to create your own mnemonics. Gawa ka ng sarili mong mnemonics. Na I learned that when I was answering a hotspot question, cardio, na andun kasi sa UWorld is andun yung picture ng So, okay. So sabi ko, kasi nagkamali ako nung sa mitral, apical pulse yata. Yun, sabi ko, apical pulse? Sabi ko, ang bubo ko naman kasi di ko alam kung nasa yung apical pulse. Sabi ko, ganyan. So, and then I knew na, okay, apical pulse, nasa apex pala ng heart. Ganyan. So, then, nagkaroon ako ng sarili kong mnemonics, for example, sa cardio na, kasi sa picture is like, meron siyang aorta, pulmonic, Erb's point, mga ganyan-ganyan, based on sa intercostal space. So, gumawa ka ng mnemonic ko, na sabi ko, 2AP, so meaning second intercostal are aorta and pulmonic, and then 3E, 3 equals Erb's point, sabi ko, and then 5 trimai, 5 is, mo kita yung trigeminal, tsaka yung mitral, yung mga ganyan. So, I created my own kasi mas mariretain yun ng utak mo if you have your own. Of course, maganda yung, yung mnemonics na nakikita mo sa review, but I think if you can create your own, kumbaga, tailored doon sa, depende sa experience mo, mas madali mo siyang matatandaan. So, successful questions ko noon after yung mga about cardio, yung mga intercostal spaces, so madali ko na siyang tatatandaan kasi you only have to memorize 6 details lang naman dun eh. Yung positioning ko saan makikita yung aortic valve or saan ka mag-auscultate ng whatever. So, feeling ko naging effective po yun. Tapos halimbawa, pag prioritization yung question mo, keywords ko yung hanapin mo, halimbawa, delegation, kailangan mong i-memorize yung, kasi ma'am, yung delegation kasi medyo madali na siya siguro kasi you just have to know yung verb, kumbaga, na gagamitin. Like, monitor, matik na yun LPN. Assist, matik na yun na UAP yun. Like, yung mga ganong keywords, yung mga ganong, depende sa action nila kasi basically, yun lang naman talaga. So, na-figure out ko yun na okay, ganito pala to, sabi ko sa kanya. So, matik na yun na, pag nabasa mo yung mga action words na yun, alam mo na kung kanino siya i-assign. Kasi very specific naman sila na pag-monitor, pag-assess, nurse, pag whatever, nurse, ganyan. So, you just really have to decipher and kumbaga i-break yung code inaaral mo. Kasi feeling ko may naman sila parang may pattern on how they do things. So, pag na-figure out mo yun, somehow it would really help you a lot. Diba? So, yun nga, sa delegation, na mo kung pattern ng verb na ginagamit nila, ganyan. So, associate mo na lang yun sa type of staff na gumagawa na ganung klaseng verb, kumbaga ng action word na yun. Tapos,
when it comes to med-surg, anong techniques nila dapat nila matutunan, Sir Mark, when it comes to med-surg?
System by system talaga, ma'am. Kasi what I did sa U-Word ko initially is, sabi ko, since yung U-Word, sabi ko, is random questions to, sasagutin ko siya ng random. So, I did yung first 2 tests ko ng random. Sabi ko, parang hirap nito, wala akong matandaan. Ganon. So, sabi ko, okay, I have to change yung strategy ko. Kailangan ko mag-system by system. Ayun. So, that's what I did. So, test 3 ko onwards na, is nag-study na po ako, ma'am, ng by system, mas nare-retain kasi sa akin, I don't know, based on my experience, mas nare-retain yung information mo kung specific system yung i-aaral mo. Tipong ganun. As opposed sa random. Nag-random lang ako, ma'am, nung incorrect questions na yung sasagutan ko. Kasi natapos ko na siya by system So, yung incorrect question ko, sabi ko, nasagutan ko na to dati, so siguro somehow may idea na ako sa ganito. So, parang baka kayanin ng utak ko na random na sila lahat. So, I think I have over around 800 yata yun, or 800 incorrect questions. So, sabi ko, ititrain ko yung utak ko with random questioning from my incorrect questions. Kasi 800, marami din yun. So, every day nun, after po nun, is nagkaroon ako ng around 100 random questions based on sa incorrect questions ko. So, yun. Tapos, talaga, ma'am, very important, you really have to take notes. Talaga, sa rationale ng your word. You have to write down all the necessary information na kailangan mo. Whether tama or mali.
Grabe, Sir Mark. I salute you, grabe.
Sinulat ko to lahat sa, everyday, ma'am, na ang sakit na ng daliri ko sa kakasulat. Alam mo yun, parang sabi, ang sakit na ng daliri ko, na parang tipong, baka nagkakakalyo na yung daliri ko sa kakasulat. Kasi you really have to write everything for your mind to retain yung information. Kasi kailangan mo talagang isulat. Kasi kung babasahin mo lang siya, wala. Trust me, hindi mo yun mariretain talaga. Or siguro, you may retain something, but then again, hindi siya sustainable, kumbaga sa utak mo. And then, after nun, ma'am, is halimbawa, I start kasi yung schedule ko na is I think I start with the U-Word around 8, ganyan, tapos end ako ng 11:30, lunch break, nap ako ng konti, and then start ulit ako ng 2 p.m. And then, pag inaantok na ako ng hapon, I really have to take nap kasi pag inaantok ka talaga, wala talagang pumapasok sa isip mo kahit nasulat ka ng sulat. So, pagka ganun kasi, you have to take a break, kahit 15 minutes nap lang. Nap is really helpful. Sobrang powerful ng nap para ma-refresh yung utak mo. And then, mag-end ako niya ng mga 8 p.m. Tapos, bago ako matulog nun, ma'am, I really have to scan yung notes na sinulat ko for the day. Very important po yun. Kasi, it's your only chance na mabasa ulit yun Kasi you don't have the luxury of time na basahin sila lahat ulit. Ang dami niyan. Sobrang ma-overwhelmed ka lang. So, the only time that you can run through yung notes mo is at the end of the day. Kailangan mo siyang basahin. Kasi That's the only time na mababasa mo siya. Hindi mo na yan mababasa ulit, trust me, kasi you don't have enough time. So yun.
Parang repetition, Sir Mark, no, na-study mo na, andun na, nabasa mo na, but what you're suggesting is basahin nila ulit in the evening. Kasi when you are writing things, the more that the information will retain in your brain. And all the more nakakatulong siya kapag nirepeat mo pa siya in the evening to run through everything na na-learn mo on that day.
Yes, ma'am, sobra. Kasi yun talaga yung ano ko na you'll have to train your brain to store those kind of information na lahat. Na yung tipong, hindi mo siya siguro mara-remember in an instant. But then again, siguro on a stressful environment, I don't know, siguro it's one of the marvels of our brain na yung tipong pag medyo may konting anxiety, may konting stress, lumalabas sila pag kinakailangan mo na. Kasi nandyan na yan sila naka-store na yan. Kumbaga na-train na yung utak mo na, okay, sige, andun kay lahat, pasok kay lahat. So, tipong, hindi mo man maalala specifically kung ano yon, but then again, I don't know, like, nagpa-pop up lang siya sa head mo pag kailangan mo na. So, yun nga, siguro, it's one of the marvels ng utak natin na talagang tinutulungan din niya tayo pag nati-train mo rin siya ng maayos. So, yun lang talaga, ma'am. Kailangan mo talagang i-train yung utak mo in everything.
So, you started the preparation January, pero religiously nagpe-prepare ka September. Ano yung nasa Gantt chart mo, Sir Mark? Like,
you really have to, like, when you're starting to prepare for yung review, you really have to research all the options and all the techniques na pwede mo may apply, and then do a trial for yourself. Siguro mga 1 week. Just like for me, nag-trial ako ng Saunders siguro mga 2 weeks kasi yun lang yung available na material ko that time. So, wala, kailangan ko siya basahin kasi yun lang available na material ko. But then again, sabi ko, this is not for me. Maghanap ako ng iba. Parang ganyan. So, yun lang po talaga na you really have to look for materials na nagkiklik kayong dalawa. Yung tipong komportable kayo sa isa't isa. Kasi pag pinipilit mo lang siya, yung sarili mo na, okay, kailangan basahin to, basahin. Ang nangyari kasi rin, it's like for compliance purposes na lang. Hindi ka na nagre-review nun, nagko-comply ka lang. At the end of the day, wala ka ring take away, wala ka ring natutunan. So you just have to, lang po talaga, look for resources and strategies na mag-work sa'yo. Mag-experiment yun. Mag-experiment ka lang like on the initial stage ng preparation mo. Para at least, pag na-gets mo na kung ano yung work sa'yo, then focus ka na doon.
It's the same thing as knowing your strength and weaknesses. If strength mo, or sabi mo nga, Sir Mark, nabanggit mo, if mag-click sa'yo ito, mean strength mo somehow, so okay, you will be doing excellently on that kasi nga strength mo. And then if weakness mo, so hindi mo masyado, you have to work on that. When it comes to the review material naman, if sa tingin mo mag-work ito sa'yo, then do it. If hindi, then move to another one para at least mahanap mo kung ano yung effective sa inyo. That's really a good point na sa lahat ng mga points na nabanggit mo, Sir Mark, I'm really very thankful dahil parang nabanggit mo lahat from the preparation, from the strategy, even on how they're going to answer like on the SATA, on the hotspots, on med search things. So, sobrang thank you, Sir Mark, dahil ang dami. You have a lot of insights, and with all the experience that you have, I'm very grateful na I have this opportunity to talk with you. And then we are going to share this one to others who are really doing their best also on how they are going to achieve their goal. Kasi alam ko, itong mga moments na to na ginagawa natin para sa iba is for them to motivate them and to inspire them na it's not impossible. It's not impossible really to achieve your NCLEX goal. Although mahirap siya, pero kayang-kaya. Even si Sir Mark, he has not been in nursing. He's not been in the practice for how long na. And he graduated 2016. So it's not 2006, right?
2007 po.
2007. So if you're watching right now and you have graduated long time ago, you haven't been in nursing practice, look at Sir Mark. He was able to pass the NCLEX at 75 questions, and then may 30 SATA siya, although hindi naman guarantee yung number of SATA, but with everything that he has shared to us, I know that if you are also going to do that one, dapat may structure lang talaga. Yun kasi ang pagpasa mo ng NCLEX is really about your preparation. It will really boil down to your preparation. Tama, Sir Mark? So,
yes,
you just have to dedicate really and to commit.
Tama ka doon. So, I mean, commitment talaga is like you really have to commit yourself in that task. Kasi, I mean, yun talaga, I mean, if you're not committed on anything, I mean, how can you finish something if hindi ka committed? Na, of course, kailangan mo isipin, you're working for your dream. Hindi mo lang dream yan, kundi dream yan ng family mo and yung pinaghirapan niyan nung pamilya mo. I mean, the money that they spent on you is hindi naman yan pinupulot lang. So, isa din yun sa may inisip ko palagi na parang, I really have to do good. And sabi ko, I mean, to be honest, I've been really fortunate enough na wala akong iniisip lang talaga for the past 3 months kundi mag-aral. So, sabi ko, it would be really unfair to them na wala na akong ginagawa, mag-aaral na nga lang ginagawa ko, tapos babagsak pa. Kasi all the support that I need, pinoprovide nila. So parang yun na talaga yung gagawin ko, mag-aaral lang talaga. Tapos sabi ko, if hindi ko pa to maayos, parang napaka-unfair naman sa kanila yun. Na tipong, ano na lang mangyayari, yung parang ganyan. So, yun din. So, it was really, ano din talaga, ma'am. Tatanggapin mo yung mga realities mo sa buhay na it would really guide you towards the goal na gusto mong ma-achieve and mamomotivate ka talaga dun araw-araw. I want to do these things, I want to achieve these things in the future. Nasabi ko, I can only achieve them if mapapasa ko tong NCLEX ko. Kasi sabi ko, pag hindi ko napasa tong NCLEX ko, ano nang gagawin ko in the next few months? Kasi walang schedule. Yun din. So sabi ko, ano gagawin ko? Until July, wala na naman schedule. So wala, nga ka na naman. Sabi ko ganyan. So yun lang tayo palagi, iniisip ko talaga na if you want better things for yourself talaga, if you want good things to happen sa sarili mo, and like halimbawa, if you want buy things that you want, talagang kailangan mo talagang paghirapan. Yung tipong wala. And of course, you really have to fervently pray and work hard for it. I mean, prayers. I mean, araw-araw ko nagdadasal since January na parang tipong meron akong mga booklet dyan na binabasa. So, it's part of my task na parang tipong hindi ako matutulog kaya hindi ako nakabasa sa mga kailangan kong dasalan. Mga parang ganyan. So, it's really helpful din naman talaga, ma'am. And of course, when you pray talaga something sa Diyos na you really wanted this, na yung tipong you need this, kasi nga talagang makakatulong sa iyo yun. Kasi sabi ko talaga, I mean, one of my prayers is that, sabi ko, Lord, help me help myself. This is the only way that I know now. Sabi ko na para tulungan yung sarili ko. Sabi ko, I want to move forward with my life. I want to achieve my dreams. So sabi ko, Lord, ito lang talaga yung alam ko na paraan ngayon. Sabi ko, itong pag-aaral ko, itong pagkuha ko ng NCLEX, tulungan niyo po akong tulungan yung sarili ko. Kasi kung hindi ko ito mapasa, sabi ko sa kanya, hindi ko na po alam yung gagawin ko. Kasi sabi ko, ang hirap po ngayon yung sitwasyon namin. It's not easy to find a job right now. Kasi andun talaga yung COVID scare mo. So sabi ko, natatakot akong lumabas kasi. Sabi ko ganyan. So sabi ko, Lord, yun talaga. Sabi ko, Lord, help me help myself. Sabi ko naman kasi, if you'll give this to me, sabi ko sa kanya, I'll pay this forward. Sabi ko sa kanya, yung blessing na ibibigay mo sa akin, I'll pay this forward. Siguro kako through my family or through other people that I may be able to help in the future. Sabi ko sa kanya, kasi kako, this is not just for me, sabi ko sa kanya. This is also for my family. Sabi ko, this is also for the people that pwede ko matulungan in the future. So sabi ko, Lord, tulungan mo kung tulungan yung sarili ko. Ito lang kasi talaga yung alam ko na paraan ngayon. And he answered my prayer din naman na hindi ko talaga, I mean, ma'am, to be honest, I've been preparing myself na sa 145 questions. Na yung tipong, siguro yung pagkapasa ko, ma'am, ng 75 questions is just ano na lang siya. Parang cherry on top na lang, kumbaga. Bonus na lang yun, kumbaga. Kasi, I'm not expecting anything. Ang hihingi ko lang talaga is like makapasa. Nakapasa ng 75. So parang, sabi ko, God is so generous. If He sees na you've been praying hard for that and then you've been working hard for it, na yung tipong, bibigyan ka na ng bonus.
Yes,
parang ganyan. So I was so happy na, alam mo ba, yung nag-appear yung survey questions after number 75. Medyo parang nataranta pa ako. Sabi ko parang, Ma'am, ano pong gagawin ko? Kasi wala na pong question, sabi kong ganyan. Na, sir, sabi niya tapos na yung tanong mo. Sabi ko, kailan ko po bang sagutan tong survey? Sabi niya, sir, kung okay lang sa'yo. Sabi ko, baka kailangan sagutan ko. So talagang sinagutan ko siya. Pero nung number 2 question, sabi ko, napapagod na ako, wag na lang. Alam mo yung feeling na.
Research? Hindi mo in-expect yung research, Sir Mark?
Hindi, ma'am. Hindi ko siya in-expect. Sobra. Hindi ko siya talaga, like, after 75, nag-appear ng survey question, blah, blah. If you give the answer, do whatever, ganyan. So, and then, sobra talaga akong nataranta noon, na yung tipong, it's same with what you felt, na yung tipong, nung natapos na exam mo, yung parang tipong bigla na lang, utak mo, bigla na lang bumigay sa pagod. Grabe, parang sabi ko, parang hindi ko na kaya mag-isip. Yung parang ganyan, parang, siguro, relieve yung brain mo na tapos na yung task mo. So, parang bigla na siya nag-bag down. Kumbaga. Sa pagod siguro, sabi ko, mama, hindi ko na kayang sagutan yung survey question, pwede tapusin ko na to.
But you answered your NCLEX at 75, right?
Yes, ma'am. Oo. Siguro, ma'am, I mean, I totally agree with you na parang tipong the universe conspires to give you what you are really praying for. Na yung tipong, like, I mean, I have hurdles a day before my exam. Na yung tipong, it was so stressful na yung nangyari sa akin a day before my exam na hindi ako masyado nakatulog the night before ng exam ko. Sobrang sabi ko, ba't ganito? Parang I was excited, ganyan. But then again, something happened. So sabi ko, ano to? Parang sabi ko, parang nananadya ba yung tadhana? Na yung tipong a day before my exam, tsaka pa may nangyari na something na hindi ko expected, na sobrang akong distracted. Na, alam mo yan, na, I checked in sa One Pacific a day before. So andun ako na parang, sabi ko, kaya nga ako nag-hotel, para comfortable ako a day before, I mean, a night before, so that I could have a good sleep. Pero hindi ako makatulog kasi I'm so distracted. Sabi ko, ba't ganito? Ano ba to? Sabi ko, parang, am I destined to fail? Ganyan. And then, somehow, nung number 74 question ko was, I think, prayo yata yun. And I don't know, it's just within me, sabi ko na, pag naging SATA tong 75, sabi ko sa sarili ko lang naman, ma'am, hindi na to magsi-76. Hindi ko talaga alam, ma'am, kung bakit ko naisip yun at that point in time. Napiglan siya nagpop up sa mind ko. I don't know, siguro dahil marami akong SATA before, nung previous questions. And then, nung lumabas, ma'am, yung SATA na 75, sabi ko, lumabas yung SATA at 75. This is what I'm asking for. Sabi ko ganyan. Then, sinagutan ko siya. And then, baka kako, sobrang happy ko, baka umiyak na lang ako pagdating ng result. Sabi ko, wag na lang.
I enjoyed a lot of your storytelling, Sir Mark. Grabe yung experience mo, Sir Mark. And I think, na-mention mo that if you are going to pass your examination, you're going to pay it forward doon sa mga iba na nangangailangan. I think you're really good experience. Coming from like your career experience and the preparation experience, itong journey na to, and all those things na na-encounter mo, I think you can really help a lot sa mga nagpe-prepare pa, Sir Mark. So, let's have 3 things. Kung ano yung pinaka-importante mong gustong i-share.
Oh, 3 things. Yeah, ma'am. I think number 1 is you have to accept the fact na you have a lot of discrepancies. Kumbaga, marami kang learning gap. In my case, truly start with accepting all your weaknesses and strength muna. Kailangan mo talaga i-assess muna. Parang lang, nursing process, assessment. Ganyan. Kailangan mo talaga i-assess yung sarili mo on what things yung kailangan mo i-work sa sarili mo. You have to do a lot of research ng materials. Yun nga, choose the options that are applicable sa sarili mo. Choose the things that is working for you, na yung comfortable kayo sa isa't isa, na yung tipong mag-meet kayo halfway. And then, yun nga, I mean, you really have to discipline and consistency talaga. You have to discipline yourself. Maging consistent ka sa pag-aaral mo. If kailangan mo mag-spend extra hours just to get something, yung kailangan mo pag-aralan, do so. Parang ganyan. Kailangan mo lang talagang i-train yung sarili mo. And you have to really train your mind and your brain how to, And siguro, ma'am, is like, maging ka din. Kailangan mong aralin, kumbaga, yung materials mo. Kasi may makikita at makikita ka talagang pattern yan eh. It's like you're just trying to solve a problem. Meron kang trend na nakikita. When you figure that out sa sarili mo, I think it would be easier na sa'yo to handle. Siguro ang last thing lang talaga is, you really have to pray.
Yes.
Sobra. You really have to pray and be honest kay God kung ano yung gusto mo mangyari. Kasi if yung prayer mo is parang half-half lang, yung hindi wholehearted, yung parang gano'n, parang siguro baka maasar sa'yo yung Diyos pag gano'n lang. Na parang tipong, imbis na i-answer niya yung prayer mo, ikaw, hindi ka man wholeheartedly nag-pray for that thing. Baka sabihin ng Diyos na, hindi ka naman committed dyan sa prayer mo, parang, sige, next time na lang. Parang, I don't know, it's just me. Pero yun nga, I've been really praying hard since January, since I started my first day of review. Doon din nag-start yung prayer ko na about this. And I've been praying for the same thing ever since, talaga ma'am, nung start ng review. Kasi yun din, if baka ako parang, pag paulit-ulit na lang na naririnig ng Diyos yung ganyan yung panalangin mo, baka nakukulitan na siya sa'yo, ibigay niya na lang.
Thank you for sharing, Sir Mark. Ang dami kong natutunan sa'yo, ang dami kong learnings, ang dami kong insights na binigay. Like, I know that this would really motivate those who are still taking the examination. One last thing that I'd like to ask Sir Mark, ang pinaka-point ko lang din is, gusto ko lang i-touch is about the prayers. Because you really have to want your goal bad enough and you have to be honest sa Lord, tama yung sanabi mo. You really have to tell Him wholeheartedly and fervently na ito yung gusto ko because this is not just for my own Lord, this is for my family. And of course, this is for the best future na para sa akin at saka para sa pamilya ko. And also, hindi lang dun sa prayers, you also have of course to work hard on it. Kasi dun sa, may point ka dun Sir Mark na binanggit mo dati na yes, you can pray for it. Pero kung hindi naman gagawin, kung wala ka namang action doon sa ginagawa mo, sa pinagpray mo, so hindi rin yun mangyayari. So it's really about you have to ask for it and of course you have to work hard on it as well. So ganun yun. You have
Yes,
to
ma'am.
pray for it, but you also have to prepare on it kasi dun yun eh. Yun yung combo, yun yung duo na it will create a magic out of it kapag ganun yung gagawin natin, guys. So sobrang thank you, Sir Mark. And lastly, Sir Mark, isa na lang talaga. Lastly, how about your experience?
Yes,
What is your feedback about the processing? This is the last thing na, Sir Mark, before we're going to have a
Oh,
break.
well, processing wise is it's very smooth. No, ma'am. I mean, keep on mentioning this to you earlier. I'm really thankful that I've chosen yung IPASS. Yun nga. Kasi you have a wonderful team working on them. Na, yun nga, as I mentioned, hindi ko kayo binobola. This is just me saying, kasi I know when I have a good customer service na nare-receive. You have a wonderful team, and siguro ma'am, what strikes me most is during this pandemic, it really shows the character of the company as a whole when they are being exposed to this kind of stress na yung tipong you see a lot of industries and companies na yung tipong nagme-meltdown, kumbaga. Pag kasi yung times natin ngayon is really unprecedented. So, yung ibang kumpanya, like, kumbaga umiinit yung ulo, ganyan. Yung option nila is magtanggal ng mga tao o halimbawa mag-downgrade ng services kasi nga they can get away with that kasi nga nasa on the premise of pandemic na yung tipong we can't give you this kind of service kasi pandemic ngayon, so limited yung resources namin. However, on your case, that's what really strikes me most kasi hindi nagbago yung yung quality of service po ninyo since the pandemic, and I really can feel that whenever yung staff is talking to me through messenger. Ayun. So sabi ko, paano sila nagiging ganito ka-empathetic sa kanilang customers despite the restrictions na ginagawa nila. So sabi ko, this is something na, yun nga, I mean, people do change talaga. I mean, the quality of service of some companies really change when they are exposed to stressful situations. Na yun nga, I mean, it's really, so hats off to your team na hindi sila nagbago kahit stress sila. So, I think it really says a lot din naman sa leadership ng management ninyo. Kasi it all boils down kasi sa management eh. If yung attitude ng management is hindi naman ganun ka-responsive, hindi ganun ka-empathetic, magti-trickle down kasi yun sa mga tao mo. I mean, somehow, I can speak for it kasi I've been through that situation din naman before na yung tipong kung ano yung attitude ng leader, na-adapt kasi yun ng mga members mo. So, I think dun talaga ma'am, na yung values ng company really matters a lot. Kasi you don't have to advertise for yourself kasi yung kliyente niyo mismo yung mag-advertise sa inyo. Yung tipong ganun. Kasi yun nga eh, the best advertising pa rin daw naman talaga is word of mouth. I mean, we have social media of course, but then again, wala talaga nakakatalo sa word of mouth. Kasi once word of mouth kasi yun, is like andun na kasi yung parang kumbaga mas dependable kumbaga yung information kasi that is based on experience. So, sana ma'am, I mean, just sana po maging consistent lang na ganun yung attitude ng company towards yung kliyente nyo kasi marami po kayong natutulungan. Like me, I am a testament to that na wala talaga akong since day one, wala talaga akong hiccups along the way kumbaga sa processing, sa dokumento and everything. I mean, just paid and then that's it. Yung tipong bibigyan ako ng schedule and mag-aaral ka na lang. So, yun. I'm really thankful po sa inyo and sa team ninyo kasi they've been really wonderful during this extraordinary times that we have right now. So yun. So feeling ko if everything gets back to normal, I mean, baka mas magiging above and beyond pa dun sa kasi yung attitude nila towards this pandemic to very valuable learning lessons kumbaga sa kanila in terms of their career and customer service attitude. Kasi nakayanan nga nilang mag-serve sa customers na restricted yung resources. I mean, I understand how it is not to work in the office itself. Pero they still managed to do that and walang reklamo yung mga kliyente. So, yun. I'm just thankful po. Sobra in my heart. I
Thank
mean,
you very much.
walang halong bola yun, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Sir Mark. Parang, totoo nga, sabi mo, ang dami naming stress, ang dami naming challenges, lalo na from March until August, and even all throughout this year. But in spite of everything, it's the fulfillment na it's the story of the clients na yung ano namin ba, na-fulfill kami through the success of our clients. So whatever we're doing for the clients, like we are really very happy to do this because we know that at the end of the day, ang pinaka-importante namin, ang pinaka-priority namin is makita namin yung client namin na pumapasa. So, that's really the most important thing na gusto namin kasi I've been there na hindi ako pumasa because mahirap siya. So, we want na as much as we can, i-provide namin kay client para at least smooth yung experience ni client with regard to achieving this dream that we have. So, I'm really very thankful in behalf of all the team, Sir Mark. Siyempre, makakarating ito sa lahat ng staff namin, sa lahat ng team members namin. And we are really very grateful that we have met your expectations. And thank you very much na kami yung napili nyo out of the many companies that are out there providing this kind of service. So, we are really very grateful and this is really an opportunity na binigay ni Lord sa amin. Every client that we have is a blessing for us and we have really a greater mission to fulfill na kung ano man yung sinimulan namin, pagpapatuloy namin, and as much as pwede pa namin improve later on, we are really going to do that because we want na, of course, every client who will come to us will be satisfied with the service that we have. So for that, Sir Mark, sobrang thank you talaga sa lahat ng nabanggit mo at sa lahat ng sharing mo. I know that this story will be very helpful for those na nagpe-prepare pa lang ng NCLEX nila, Sir Mark. So thank you very much, Sir Mark, sa oras
Thank
mo.
you, ma'am.
Anyway, a lot of your time. Sobrang thank you talaga, Sir Mark.